So you want to be a dungeon master?
So, you want a dungeon master?
So you want to be a DM?
Name some feats, okay? Feats.
So you want to be a DM?
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. This week, we're going to cover the 2024 Sorcerer, the spellcaster with innate magical abilities. As always, we'll discuss what's changed, what's stayed the same, and if any of it feels necessary at all. Now, remember, gang, these are just our opinions, so chill out. But mark off a sorcery point. Pick your metamagic options, cast some spells, and let's talk about the Sorcerer. But first, always got to be a but first. Taylor, I was thinking earlier when I was doing some of this outline, I was thinking sorcerers are kind of like X-Men a little bit. Expand on that.
You want me to expand
and
on
talk on
your
that
thought process? Got it. Okay.
And your thoughts?
And my thoughts on your thoughts of
sorcerers.
Sorcerers are.
Think about it.
I mean, kinda. I guess maybe because they're like.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, they kind of
X-Men are sorcerers.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't think that all X-Men are sorcerers. I could make the argument that all sorcerers are X-Men.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you referring to like some random offshoots like Juggernaut or something like that?
Well,
where it's like,
kind of.
Technically, he got his powers from a crystal.
Kind of. But I think that there are powers that some X-Men have that are not sorcerer powers.
Well, not in the D&D context of it all. But I think broadly speaking,
I mean,
you get your powers from an innate ability. That's X-Men.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's not Iron Man. It's not Captain America. You know what I mean? There's some superheroes that you can easily mark off and be like, that's not a sorcerer. It's not Bruce Banner. I mean, I guess unless you went really deep and you were like, well, why did Dr. Bruce Banner able to withstand that much gamma radiation when most people shouldn't be able to do it? So maybe there was something inside all along. But that's a story for another day. I do think X-Men as sorcerers is an interesting concept that we should explore because it opens up the idea. Because I started thinking sometimes with sorcerers, I feel like it's not very often that I meet anybody who's a full sorcerer. Who plays a full sorcerer. They're always a part of a subclass kind of thing, or rather a multi-class.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, man, do sorcerers get that much love? Like, I know that people like sorcerers because they love metamagic and those abilities. But at the same point, I don't meet very many full sorcerers. And so I was thinking about, we have a series coming out eventually this year called Oops All Healers, and I was thinking about what it would mean to do Oops All Sorcerers and like what that would look like.
Definitely do like an X-Men.
And X-Men, it was the easiest way for me to easily come together with like a concept of just like, okay, well, obviously you could do the school, you could do Xavier, you could do them as a superhero force, you could do multiple iterations of X-Men and have that be the Oops All Sorcerers vibe. You know, battling the Brotherhood of Mutants, all these different things. Like, there's so many different aspects of it that you could explore. You could go fully into like, hey, Magneto's saying some things that are kind of right. I don't know, like the whole.
I actually just recently
current day and age
the original X-Men from like 2001 or whatever, the OG one. Yeah. And like I'm watching it and that line, nobody ever talks about it.
Oh, that is from
monologue?
The third one, I think.
Is it from the third one? Yeah.
Because that's the one where he's starting to build an army kind of, and he's at this like place that is like an abandoned warehouse where a bunch of mutants are hanging out, and they're kind of like building a community a little bit. And that's where this guy's like, listen, the government is saying that they're not gonna force the cure on us. Don't worry. They're saying they're not gonna do it. And that's when Magneto steps in and is like,
nobody ever talks about it.
Nobody ever talks about it. They just do it.
Yeah.
And just
Right.
it's so intense. And then like there's
But
so
I
many
mean,
scenes
even in
oof.
I'm thinking of like the first interaction in that movie when Charles and Eric are on that catwalk in the
Mhm.
UN and they have
Yeah,
that really deep philosophical. That's like it's like, oh shit, this is like almost too real right now, gang. This is almost too real right now.
it really is. It really is. Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
haven't seen
Buckeyes.
the
But
original X-Men series before, like before First Class, before the whatever, like the original X-Men 1, 2, and 3, X1, X2, X3, you gotta go watch it. It's I
they're
mean,
campy,
they're
they're
they're cheesy,
fun.
corny,
It's a
they're
specific direction of
uh-huh.
X-Men because it is like much darker, even just from a color palette standpoint,
Right.
not even like
Mhm.
tone, because they have some jokes in there
What
left and right.
what do you want me to
But
wear? Yellow
like,
latex?
yeah,
the
like the fact that they're all wearing like dark leathers,
the black
it's like,
leather
okay,
suits.
interesting.
All right, all right.
It's very of its era, the early 2000s, giving
Hmm.
underworld a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's my thought. I'm glad. Thank you for, exploring that
I'm
idea
I'm
with
with you,
me.
buddy.
I think there's something there. So before we get into the meat of the episode, Patreon gang, we got to talk about it. Listen, we got to
Mhm.
talk about it.
We
There's
gotta
all
talk
kinds
about
of
it.
cool things over on the Patreon. There's subclasses that we're putting out at least once a month, maybe more if we have the content and the willpower for that. But also other things like settings and homebrew magic items and bonus action podcast episodes and action surges for the different series that we have coming out. So much content. It helps to support us a lot and continue creating content. So please
Yeah,
support us on the Patreon. It means the world. Check it out.
do
Link in the
it.
description. Let's get into the meat of the episode.
Let's do it.
So we're
Let's talk
talking
about it.
sorcerers today. We're
Mhm,
talking 2024. Taylor, have you? I know obviously your main character, Kaladin, has levels
mhm,
of sorcerer. We've discussed
mhm,
this.
mhm,
It made
mhm,
sense both from a story standpoint and a mechanical standpoint of
mhm.
Kaladin dipping into sorcerer. But have you ever played like majority sorcerer, if not full sorcerer, even for a one shot or something?
Um,
Because I've played a full sorcerer for one shots. Even like there was, Allie has run those like recurring high school freshman year, sophomore
mhm,
year, junior year
mhm.
games. So
Yeah,
each one is a one shot, but I've played the same character across them.
right.
And he's his name is Jules. He is
Mhm.
a sorcerer, wild magic, and
Yeah,
I dip heavy into the pyro side of things where I pick it's my one opportunity to pick every fire spell.
right.
Because sometimes I think the fire spells are a little cliche in D&D.
Mhm.
It's like everybody wants to pick fireball. But this is my one chance where I do pick fireball because I'm like, well, he loves fire. That's part of his innate thing.
Mhm. As far as playing a full sorcerer, I think you and I have had this discussion. I don't think I've made a character that has less than 19 AC. So, can't do that with the
It's
sorcerer for the most part
tricky.
unless you are doing some shenanigans. Um, yeah, so I don't think I've ever done a full sorcerer. Kaladin is, I think, 4 or 5 levels of it's 5 levels now of sorcerer. So I got a little bit into the low end side of things, but I don't think I've ever
Okay.
progressed it all the way to just sorcerer.
Yeah. If you were, before we go into 2024, if you were to
Hmm.
make a 2024 sorcerer,
Hmm. Hmm.
knowing that the subclasses available in the PHB are aberrant, clockwork, draconic, and wild magic, is there
Hmm.
one that speaks to you?
I do have a weird obsession with Mechanus, so I would probably go with Clockwork.
Clockwork is
Um,
pretty dope.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
For AC reasons, I wouldn't be surprised if you start leaning towards draconic by the time we're done here.
Yeah.
But let's jump into it. So, right off the bat, getting the basics out of the way, all pretty much staying the same. Hit point die is a d6. Your saves are charisma and your constitution. Choose two proficiency out of arcana, deception, insight, intimidation, persuasion, or religion. So, that all pretty much tracks. Now, for weapons, they switched it up slightly, just a little bit. It used to be a very specific list of weapons, mainly simple weapons. The one that
Mhm.
I need to double check on is the light crossbow. But the old list in 2014, it was daggers, slings, darts, light crossbow, and quarterstaff. Now it's just simple weapons.
Simple weapons. Yeah. That's
I
good.
don't know if a light crossbow constitutes as a simple weapon. Not 100%. Not in 2024.
I think a hand crossbow might. I don't know that
I don't know if it is either. I think hand crossbow is also like one of those ones where they're like, only some people can use a hand crossbow. Really? Really though? Really? And now we're looking it up and we're gonna find it. And Taylor's
And
using
this
the
is
internet.
great TV here. Super
No, this is
engaging.
good. This is you get to see how the sausage is made, and I think that's important sometimes from time to
Simple
time.
weapon.
And light crossbow is a simple ranged weapon,
Yep. Light
but a
crossbow.
hand crossbow is martial.
Okay.
Hand crossbow is martial. So yes, a light crossbow would still constitute. You'd still be good. Even a
Oh,
short
yeah.
bow you could use.
Yeah.
So it expands the amount of weapons that a sorcerer can use big time. So that is just a net good thing. Because I like that. I like when, because it's like there's nothing else that really maybe there will be a subclass in the future. I don't think there is that we'll go over today, except for maybe the clockwork one, if I'm not mistaken. But there isn't really a subclass that we'll talk about that really dives in on melee attacks or like making martial attacks.
Right.
In the way that like the Valor Bard does. Like I said, I think the Clockwork Sorcery one does a little bit, but we'll, obviously cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yep.
Now for armor proficiencies, none. This is the AC killer. This is the one.
So hard. This is why it's so hard for me to do just straight sorcerer. I have to at least. I just want to get one level of fighter. Just one.
You can't. You have to have a low AC.
No!
You have to figure it out.
No.
So at level 1, you get your spell casting. You're going to learn 4 cantrips. Every time you level up, you can replace one with a new cantrip if you're not using one. I love that ability. I need to triple check with Lance about Pathfinder 2nd edition and be like, dude, there's a couple of cantrips here that I'm not using ever. I need to switch them out. But you also get 2 prepared first level spells and 2 spell slots. So really basic stuff. Now, when I looked at 2024 and 2014 in terms of specifically like the number of spells that you can learn, the spell slots pretty much are the same. That doesn't really change in terms of like number of spell slots that you'll get, right? However, I did see that we're talking like you get to prepare a lot more spells, actually. Like a good number.
That is one of the things that I am kind of upset about in 2014 is how many spells I can have as a like how many sorcerer spells I can have.
It just like your list is very short.
Yeah.
It's always felt that way. It's one of the biggest holdbacks for sorcerers in 2014 is just like for some reason you get way less spells that you can choose from. The sorcerer list itself it's one of the, I mean, it's not obviously wizard and cleric and druid, I think are all bigger than sorcerer. Sorcerer spell list is good, but it's very deep.
It's focused. I think is the word for it. I think it's focused a lot on the evocation. It's focused on the spells that work well with the metamagic options that you have.
Definitely. And we're going to go over metamagic because a couple of them have changed. And those are the only ones that we're really going to go over. So if there's have been no changes, then we didn't really go over it. Like, I don't think we touch on subtle spell. You know what I mean? Because I think subtle spell stays exactly the same. It's the same number of sorcery points, everything. So I only wrote down really the stuff that changed. So like in 2014, at level 17 max, you can prepare 15 spells. And that stays the same between 17th level and 20th level. Never goes up.
That's crazy.
In 2024, at level 17, you will already be able to prepare 19 spells.
Oh, wow.
And then each level, it continues to go up. So at 18th level, 20, 19th level, 21, and at 20th level, a max of 22 spells.
Oh, wow.
So just a huge improvement there. That's just a net positive. Can't be mad at that. The other ability that you're going to get at first level is, I think, game changing for sorcerers.
I read this and I agree.
I've played with a bunch of 2024 sorcerers as a DM, as like a fellow player at the table, and every time they crank this particular ability out, I'm like, oh shit. Here comes what I in my brain I think of this as like a sorcerer's rage.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily work the same way, but resource wise, it's similar, where it's just this bonus action thing for 1 minute. You're unleashing magic around you,
hmm
and this is your innate sorcery.
Hell yeah.
So again, a bonus action lasts 1 minute. Your spell save DC for sorcerer spells increases by 1. Already, anything that pushes your
Sure.
DC up is nuts.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
So that's sick.
Mhm.
And you have advantage on attack rolls for sorcerer spells that you cast
Yeah. Mhm.
just out the
Mhm.
gate. So that's why Daniel in Sphinx City season 2, available on YouTube and on the podcast in podcast form, was constantly casting Scorching Ray
Mhm.
because each one is an attack roll,
Right.
right? Like if he had cast Fireball a bunch, that's a saving throw. That's on the mad guy. That doesn't give you the
Mhm.
advantage. But Scorching Ray can do just as much damage, right? You could do
Mhm.
8d6 at third
Right.
level with Scorching Ray. It does the exact same number of damage, but you have advantage on every single hit.
That's
Then
crazy.
you could probably throw in other things like your Draconic Sorcery, where, oh, I picked fire for my thing and now it does extra damage because it's a fire spell.
Right. Mhm.
Or you could, let's do what is transmuted spell. Now I can change the damage type to a certain thing because the monster I'm fighting I know is weak to. What the fuck, man? Innate sorcery changes the game. It's so powerful.
It's
It's
good.
so good. Now
Really
you
good.
get this ability twice per long rest.
That's not the end of the world.
2 uses. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Not bad at
But
all.
it's still very
Pretty good
handy.
for what it is.
Enough.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's enough to make you want to hang on to it for when you need it. But
Yeah.
enough that if you do need it, you don't feel like you're wasting it. If
And
it
it's a
winds
bonus
up-
action.
Yeah, it's a
To
bonus
just
action.
like pop
Yeah.
it out. It's not like
Right.
do I have to use my whole turn to prepare
Mhm.
this thing? It's no. Just a bonus action. And then you can
Mhm.
immediately cast a spell.
Right.
So it's so nice. I love it. And it gets better as you level up.
Yeah.
That's not even as good as innate sorcery gets. It constantly gets better.
Mhm.
Not constantly, but at the higher levels, it gets much better.
Mhm.
So level 2, hey, we're getting sorcery points. Now it's the font of magic, but it's
Right.
pretty much exactly the same. You get sorcery points. An interesting little detail, though, that I noticed that I think you would love because of Kaladin does this all the time.
Mhm.
Converting this is very specific. Everything else is the same when it comes to converting things from one to another, except for
Mhm.
this. When you take a spell slot and you convert that into sorcery points,
Mhm.
so it becomes the number of sorcery points is equal to the spell slot level. If you burn a 5th
Right.
level spell slot, you get 5 sorcery points.
Right.
That used to cost a bonus action. Now it
Mhm.
does not. Does not cost an action.
That's
It
that's
does the
rough
little
for you,
parentheses
buddy.
thing where it says no action required.
That's
And
rough,
I was
buddy.
like, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, it really all of these
Especially for
rules, and this
me
is true
with
for most of 2024 changes
Mhm.
for players. I think genuinely the way I feel about it is like the same way I feel about giving out a ton of magic items. It's like, okay, cool. We just made the players way more powerful. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna have to do more encounters during the days, stretch things
Right.
out,
Right.
drain resources, harder encounters. Like I'm just gonna have to move the goalposts, sort of,
Right.
is what it feels like.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful for that multi-class kind of situation where, I'm level 14 technically, but I only have 5 sorcery points. Being able to do, like, just for hypothetical, um do my spiritual weapon as a bonus action. I'm out of sorcery points, but I can then like convert sorcery points and twin something on the same turn.
Yeah. As long as you can find
That's
ways to cast more than one spell on a turn, which is
true. Yeah.
risky only because in 2024 they've added so much language to even make that harder.
Or I can
Unless,
do my smite attack and then
well,
sorcery
Smite in
burn
2020 in
and
2014,
is
you have
also
to
a
you have to
spell
have a
now.
cool DM who's willing to share 2014
they're
cool
making
things
this
and
game too
2024
hard.
cool things.
They're making this game too hard.
Because
I don't like it.
it is interesting there. So going over some of the changes of the metamagic, because right at level 3, or excuse me, at level 2, you gain 2 options from the list.
Okay. Yep.
Now, all of the basic rules of metamagic are the same. Like you can only use one option on one spell unless it says so, yada yada yada. That kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
You can't twin and subtle and heighten, right? Like we get that. Until later levels, actually, though. We'll talk about that in a second.
Some of them also in the 2014
Some of them say you
original
can,
text,
but even without that,
yeah,
at higher levels, you can kind of get around it, and we'll talk about it. But so the only differences that I was able to find in the metamagic options are as follows, 5 to be exact. First one is careful spell.
Okay.
Now, remember back in the day, careful spell was one of those ones where you started reading it and you were like, oh, this is awesome. I can cast fireball around my friends and I won't have to worry. And then you read a little closer and you go, oh, they just succeed on the saving throw.
Right.
So they're still going to take half damage. That sucks. What the fuck is the point of this? Well, they improved it.
Part of the reason why I didn't take careful spell.
Exactly. No one takes careful spell for that, except if you misread it.
Right.
We've all had that where a player's like, don't worry, I have careful spell, fireball. And you're like, that's not how that works. So now they've changed it. Now, if the way the spell works is that when you take half damage, you take, or when you succeed on the saving throw, you take half damage. Now you take no damage. So the way the careful spell works is your friends will automatically succeed and then automatically not take any damage, assuming it's a damage dealing spell. So that's beautiful. That's just a net good as well.
Oh yeah,
we love to see it. Extended spell, another just straight up improvement. Extended spell, not only does it do what it always did, where it just extends the duration of a spell's duration. Now, also in addition to that, it just gives you advantage on concentration saves to concentrate on that spell. Because presumably, which kind of makes sense. It's like, well, you have to concentrate on the spell for that much longer. That's going to be harder to do just naturally, right? You're very good at concentrating on it. So I like that. That's cool because you could use it in ways where you're like, I actually don't even give a shit about the duration. All I care about is the advantage on concentration checks.
Right.
And you could use it strategically, like in the middle of a fight where you're like, oh, 1 minute spell becomes 2 minutes. Like, I don't care about that. I'm just doing it for the concentration advantage. Here's another one that I think you'll love and I hate. Heightened is 2 points instead of 3. What the hell?
Let's go. Yes, we do.
All these other ones
we do.
Good. Yes, we already changed all these other ones. We don't have to make the one good one. Everyone's picking heightened. Apparently, the 3-point thing was not that much of a barrier because everybody picks heightened. So, like, what the hell are we doing? We needed to make heightened easier? I don't think so.
I do.
If people were okay paying for 3 points, why are we reducing the price? It's business. It's economics, baby. It makes no sense. Anyway, quicken spell. Man, they added a bunch of weird little lingo in there to pretty much just be like, don't you dare try and break this game and cast 2 spells. Don't you fucking dare. I didn't want to just rewrite it word for word, but it really did it comes across very discouraging. It does not want you. They do not want you to cast more than one
just
spell.
Because you're casting this as a bonus action doesn't mean you get to do spells all willy fucking nilly.
Exactly. That's kind of how it said it. It was like, it was really mean. And then twin spell. Twin spell also, they seem to have their feelings hurt, these designers, because once again they just added a bunch of little caveats language in there where they were like, in order to twin a spell, it must be a spell that can be cast with a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature.
I do remember reading that
such as charm person. So if for some reason you're casting a spell that doesn't explicitly say you can cast this with a higher spell slot to target an extra creature, then you can't twin it.
So, okay. So fireball. Can't twin fireball.
You never could twin fireball because it doesn't target one person.
Oh,
In the
that's right.
past,
Okay.
it was always like it needs to be a spell that targets one person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a really specific
I think
example right
hold
now of a
person
spell.
doesn't. I think hold person.
Yeah, but you can upcast that one.
You can.
That's the thing. It's going to be kind of hard to find. I think the biggest thing that I'm thinking of is cantrips
Oh, right.
because you can't upcast a cantrip in general.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
does that count? Like, can you cast Firebolt or Chill Touch and hit 2 targets with Chill Touch? You used to be able to, but Chill Touch, you can't technically upcast to
Right.
hit more than one target. So, the way I'm reading this, you can't use Chill Touch and Twin Spell, which I
Mhm.
think is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. Maybe they're trying to get around from spells of like, what is the one I was just mentioning before? Scorching Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Scorching Ray. You send out 3 individual blasts. One of them can target one person. It can target the same people, multiple people, whatever. But you could make the argument that you're taking one of those blasts and splitting it and twinning it. This is making it very clear that it's like that's not how that
Right.
spell works. You can't do
Right.
it that
Right.
way.
Right.
Because when you upcast it, it doesn't allow for additional targets. It just gives you an extra blast. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where they're just trying to get really nitpicky so that people aren't trying to like break the game and do little tiny things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like they don't want you to be able to cast Blink on 2 people. Blink has a range
Oh,
of
yeah.
self
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if Blink it would have been allowed by 2014 standards, but still, like that's just what they're trying to do. Is
Right.
same as the Quicken spell. They're just trying to discourage people from being creative and breaking the game. And it's like I get it because unfortunately,
So,
there's
like
always going to be people
Melf's
out there though
or
that
like
find the
Acid Arrow
things.
is one of those spells that I'm looking at right now that you wouldn't be able to twin. That doesn't make sense that you wouldn't be able to twin.
Exactly, it's dumb.
Yeah, because it just increases damage. It doesn't
Give
increase
you extra target.
extra targets. Right.
Exactly. So Melf's Acid Arrow would be a perfect example of one that you used to be able to do and now
Mhm.
can't do.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it's silly. And it's obviously all of these changes are, hey, subject to the table.
Yeah.
So you can
Mhm.
easily step in and just be like, hey, DM, I want to take Twin Spell, but I don't like this thing. How do you feel about it? Da-da-da, and have a conversation about it. But also come to the understanding that, like, at the end of the day, compromise is important when it comes to like rules, things like that. But I do kind of lean a little bit towards the side of like, it's the DM's choice at the end of the day.
Mhm.
But for the DMs, I will say have a little compassion, understand that some of these changes for people who are used to 2014, like it does suck where you're like, oh, wow, the bummer.
Yeah.
Especially when you didn't even get to do the 2014 thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about how the like conjure animals and like conjure woodland being spells got nerfed a ton.
Mhm.
Like they
Mhm.
still do tons of damage and they're still good in 2024. They're just infinitely different. You're not
Right.
actually conjuring any animals and controlling them or doing anything with them. You don't actually have pixies that can cast spells. And it's like if you've been a DM like me throughout 2014 rules and you've had players do cool things like that and stuff, and then you're like sitting over here on the sidelines, like, man, I can't wait till I get to be a player and cast conjure
Mhm.
animals and conjure a shit ton of giant toads and try and swallow the creature. That's gonna be awesome. And then 2024 rolls around, they're like, actually, you don't do that anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I want to break the game a little bit
Right.
before you
Right.
fix it all. So like that's how I feel a little like I don't know,
That's so funny.
disappointed in
Mhm.
2024, but it's so personal. It's so like based on my own experience of
It's like
like
a
I
very
want to
case
do
by
some of the
case thing.
2014
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Mhm.
So when you took them away and like yes, some of them should have been taken away. I still want to do them though, you know?
Yeah.
Um so those are the changes for the metamagic options. Most of them are pretty good for the players. Every once in a while, they're just getting a little nitpicky about
Mhm.
making sure that people don't get too crazy. Um,
Yeah.
Now, level 3, we get our subclass feat. Level 4, ASI or feat. Level 5, Sorceress Restoration. Because we needed to make it even easier to regain sorcery points for
Mhm.
these guys.
Naturally.
So right after you finish a short rest, you regain expended sorcery points. No more than half of whatever your total sorcery points are, which is always your sorcery level pretty much, right? So
Right.
they use the
Right.
phrase sorcery level, but it's kind of the same thing.
Mhm.
Rounded down.
Yeah.
And you do that only once per long rest. So it's kind of like a wizard's arcane recovery, but instead of spell slots, it's sorcery
You're
points.
getting sorcery points. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
huge.
otherwise you'd have to burn spell slots to get the sorcery points back, which is nice.
Yeah, for
And you
sure.
don't get a ton of spell slots as a sorcerer either. Like, I mean, you get spell slots, but you don't get a ton of spell slots.
Well, it's as the same as any other full
Yeah.
caster. So it eventually will get to a place where it feels like you have a decent number
Mhm.
because like I've now played at a pretty mid level actually. It was like level 10 or 11 and I was a full caster and then all I needed was a magic item that had charges and I was never
Okay.
running out of spell slots.
That's fair.
Now, granted, we were in one of those situations where it was like huge, massive combat and then long rest. Huge, massive, deadly combat, long rest. It was one of
Right.
those kind of situations. But
Right.
nonetheless, I was never running out of spell slots. I was
That's
always
fair.
like good to go. But I also had a magic item that could dish out spell slots. So that was huge. But so yeah, the Sorcerer's Restoration, solid. That's awesome. We love to see it. Level 6, subclass feat. We're back in them feet. Level 7, here's where we get our Sorcery Incarnate. Incarnate, whatever the hell. If you run out of uses of your innate sorcery,
Okay.
then you can just spend 2 sorcery points when you take the bonus action to activate it and do it again.
Okay, cool.
So no worries there.
Mhm.
And now that you're at level 7, anytime that you have innate sorcery going, hey, guess what? You can use 2 of your meta magic options on each spell that you cast. And you have to spend the
Okay.
points,
Right.
but now you can do a subtle and a twin or something.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, it is
Very
interesting.
interesting.
It's pretty freaking wild, and it's only going to get wilder as we continue. Now, a lot of the next couple of levels, I'll just
Yeah.
breeze through these because they're
do it.
just the
Yeah.
normal stuff for a full caster, where you get a lot of stuff up at the front, you get some really cool stuff back in the back end, and then everything in between is just more spells, ASIs or feats, or like a resource increase. Like, for example, at level 10, you get another meta magic option, like something like that.
Right.
So level 8, ASI or feat. Level 9, 5th level spells. Level 10, another meta magic option. This will be your third.
Mhm.
Level 11, 6th level spells. Level 12, ASI or feat. Level 13, level 7 spells. Level 14, you get subclass feat. Level 15, 8th level spells. Level 16, ASI or feat. Level 17, another meta magic option, your fourth. Level 9 spells, also.
Mhm.
Level 18, subclass feat. And level 19, we get into the epic boon.
Mhm.
Now, I am very positive that this boon was also recommended for another class earlier in our 2024 discussions. I cannot remember which one. And I
Possible. Yeah.
probably could have looked it up, but this sounds so familiar. And no matter what, it's dope as hell. They recommend, as per always, you can choose any of the epic boons that are available in the feats chapter of the book, but
Mhm.
they always recommend one. And for this, they recommended the boon of dimensional travel. So
I would be hard pressed to not take this on any character.
they're all good.
This is such a good one,
A
though.
couple of them, they're all so good. But yeah, you immediately first you're just gonna get a +1 to any of your ability scores up to a maximum of 30. That's all of the epic boons do that. And then the big piece de resistance. Immediately after you use the attack action or the magic action, you can teleport up to 30 feet to a spot that you can see. That's obviously unoccupied.
I would abuse the ever loving Christ out of that ability.
I am thankful that they said immediately after,
Mhm.
just so that there's a little bit of focus to it, like narrowing,
Right.
so
Right.
that
Right.
it's not
Right.
just like before or after, because then it's like, oh Jesus
Yeah, like
Christ,
the
that's the last thing I need.
planeswalker or whatever.
Yes, My God, dude, those planeswalkers, horizon walkers, whatever. Once they hit
Right.
level 11, they're unstoppable.
Was it
Um,
Planeswalkers like Magic the Gathering or something like that? If
it's
I'm
oh yes, you're right. And level 20, we get finally an ability that doesn't have the word sorceress or sorcerer in it. We
Mhm.
have arcane apotheosis. While your innate sorcery is active, you can use a metamagic option per turn, one specifically per turn, that doesn't need to use any sorcery points.
Which at level 20, you have so many sorcery points too.
And so now you can just heighten
Right.
every single thing that you cast for free. And then use sorcery points to do the other ones if you
Right.
want.
Because you're
To
already doing,
twin,
because
to
you
do
can do
this, to do
2
that.
per
Because you can do
turn.
two. Yeah. And that doesn't include the ones that you can already do in addition to other ones,
Right.
which would include mostly, I think it's transmuted and
Mhm. Quickened, probably.
it's not
No,
quickened.
it's not quickened.
No, quickened is too powerful. I think it's distant, perhaps. Maybe it's not distant. Once again, this is how the sausage is made as I quickly find the sorcerer section of the book. Yeah. Seeking spell is one.
Okay.
Empowered,
Okay.
which just is the
That's
re-rolling damage
re-rolling the
dice, like a
damage
certain
one.
number of
Yeah.
damage dice. Those two. Yeah, seeking spell, empowered spell. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
very few. But that is what we're dealing with the base class for sorcerer.
It's rad.
So overall, before we get into subclasses, I think it's good.
I think it's good.
I
I
think it's
think
good. I think innate sorcery alone makes the sorcerer incredibly much more interesting.
yes, I agree with you. I am still a little upset about the the changes to twin spell. Not that I'm really a twin spell user, but it was definitely up there on my list of meta magic. If I continued down the sorcerer path and got another meta magic option, I would probably pick twin spell.
Because it's fun because it invites creativity in
Hmm.
2014 in a way where you're like, what can I twin?
Right.
I've seen people use it in crazy ways where like I saw one person use it. It might have been Laura Bailey in a Critical Role, but I think it was her. And she used it on the spell, I want to say catapult. You know, you take like a,
Hmm.
a small stone and it just like,
Right. Yeah.
and she like twinned it and sent two or I want to say I've seen somebody use it on detect thoughts before
Interesting.
where they were just
Okay.
able to hit
Yeah.
two brains because that's not how
Uh-huh.
detect thoughts doesn't have a
Right, right, right.
when you upcast you can cast it to
Mhm.
more people, like that's not how that spell works normally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like I love the creativity behind stuff like that. So yeah, I
Mhm.
agree, that is a bummer. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think
Overall, it's
some of
definitely,
the additions are significantly better
yeah.
and just way better, more spells.
Hmm.
That's hard to beat. But let's get into these subclasses and let's see how we feel, you know?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's talk
So
about it.
right off the bat, I'll kick us off with this one just because I'll let you do clockwork
Okay.
since that's more your vibe. And I think you're gonna like it because there's some dope abilities in there. The whole like order,
Hmm.
this idea of the mechanist and stuff. It comes through in the mechanics.
Yeah.
Now, straight up, gang, both of these subclasses, the aberrant and the clockwork sorcerer, they both came from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, a supplement for 2014, and they haven't changed a tiny bit. If it weren't for the big change in 2024 where every single class gets their subclass at third level, that's the only difference between these
Right.
subclasses
Right.
because but they didn't actually change anything. They just meant anything that you got at first level is just something that you also now get at third level.
Hmm.
And so now at third level, you just are very top loaded. So when you're looking at these spell lists, you'll notice they get a ton of spells, but that's because they used to get spells at first
Another
level.
right.
So now you get those first level spells and third level spells all at once. One of them is like a cantrip, so it just makes it so you're getting like 5 spells right up from the jump at third level. So with Aberrant Sorcery, third level, first you're going to get those psionic spells, Arms of Hadar, Calm Emotions, Detect Thoughts, Dissonant Whispers, Mind Sliver. Fifth level, Hunger of Hadar, Sending. Seventh level, Evard's Black Tentacles and Summon Aberration. And at ninth level, Rary's Telepathic Bond and Telekinesis.
Hell yeah.
All spells that totally fit the
Mhm.
vibe of that otherworldly patron, this idea of a great old one, which is kind of what this is feeling like a little bit, in
Mhm.
terms of like, but instead of it being a patron that you're working with, like the sorcerer, or excuse me, like the warlock, which we'll go over next month, but it's within. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that's why you're getting Arms of Hadar, Hunger of Hadar, Evard's Black Tentacles, all that kind of Cthulhu shit.
Right.
And then Dissonant Whispers, Summon Aberration, the telepathy, telekinesis, all the psionic connections. So
Mhm.
it's all fitting in pretty well with the vibe here. Not to mention, right at third level, you're also going to get telepathic speech. So you choose a creature within 30 feet of you that you can see. You guys have to share a language, at least one language, but then
Mhm.
you can talk to each other telepathically for a number of hours. I want to say it's your sorcerer level, or it's minutes. My mistake. A number of minutes equal to your
Mhm.
sorcerer level. And then you can be within miles of each other, a minimum of 1
Yeah.
mile,
Right.
but whatever your charisma modifier is, that's how many miles you can be apart from each other and still
That's
talk
crazy.
telepathically. So
The
it's
que- the
really, really cool.
the trouble is going to be getting that far away within the minutes that you have available to you. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
Because
Like the distance
if
of
you
it
want to
all,
go
yeah.
5 miles away, I mean, that's like, even if you're at a dead sprint, that's like 40 minutes.
Teleportation though.
Teleportation could be a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you could have like somebody
Yeah.
go, okay, I've made the bond, and then they go, cool, arcane gate or dimension door 500 feet away. Even then, it's like obviously a
Yeah.
mile is still insane, but
Yeah.
you could have them be like, hey, I'm gonna start taking back this city, you and your crew, because you could set this up with an NPC who's
Right.
like, cool, I'm about to step into a portal and be 30 miles away,
Right.
which is like more miles than your charisma modifier can ever
Could
be. But
ever
you know what
be.
I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
excited. So, okay, you get telepathic speech. Very, very fun. We love to see it.
Hmm.
Now we get into sixth level. Sixth level, we get psionic sorcery. Again, this is exactly the same as 2014. Everything that we're saying here, we've already probably talked about on the sorcerer episode that we originally did, Sorcerer 101.
Hmm.
But just to reiterate some of this stuff, at sixth level, now you can cast any of your first level or higher spells using a spell slot from your psionic spells, like table, those like spells that you just always have prepared.
Hmm.
And you can cast it with a normal spell slot, or you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level
Hmm.
and cast it that way. Now, if you do that, it requires no verbal or somatic components, and it only requires material components if they're consumed by the spell. Otherwise, no material components either.
Dang. It's a pretty
Yeah,
subtle spell.
free subtle spell, and arguably stronger than a subtle spell, I
Yeah.
think.
Hmm.
But like, yes, very fucking solid. We have a lot of really good spells that we get access to through this. Detect thoughts and calm emotions to for out of combat and incredible information gathering situations.
Hmm.
Dissonant whispers and Arms of Hadar and Hunger of Hadar if you're trying to do any kind of like distraction kind of shit. That
Hmm.
would be insane. Telekinesis, you could literally get somebody framed for witchcraft.
Yeah.
Why not? That's
I like
hilarious.
the I like the thought of the summon aberration and have it come in like summon an aberration and have it
Oh
start like
yeah.
wrecking stuff and like, oh no, we have to stop the bad guy, like
Don't
a
worry, I'll use
false
my
flag.
powers. And you just
Right.
dispel it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I did it. Oh, whoa.
The
I'm
crowd
amazing.
goes wild.
100%. So
Yeah. Okay. So there's
at
some
sixth level, we
ideas.
also
Yep.
get So that's our offensive kind of
Mm.
cool stuff that we get at 6th level. We also get psychic defenses. So now we have resistance to psychic damage, and we have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened.
Hell yeah.
Pretty solid. Now at 14th, we get something fucking crazy. This is revelation in flesh. That's right. I said the word flesh because at 14th level, you can just bonus action and spend 1 or more sorcery points to magically transform your body for 10 minutes. Okay. For each sorcery point that you spend, you can gain one of the following benefits.
Okay.
Now, there's 4 potential benefits. You could spend 4 sorcery points, get all 4. You could spend 2 and just pick 2, whatever you're feeling. The first one, you can see any invisible creature within 60 feet of you, as long as it's not behind total cover.
Mhm.
Your eyes also turn black or become writhing sensory tendrils. So something weird happens where you're sensing some stuff. But have fun with it. Have fun with the
Yeah.
flavor of your disgusting revelation in flesh. You can gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. As you
Crazy.
fly, your skin glistens with mucus or shines with an otherworldly light. Also the second one, maybe. Instead of the mucus, think about the otherworldly light instead. But also, you could, third one, gain a swimming speed equal to twice your walking speed and breathe underwater. Gills grow from your neck or fan out from behind your ear. Your fingers become webbed or you grow writhing cilia. They love the word writhing.
They
Um,
do.
the fourth option, and this one's the funnest, your body, along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying, becomes slimy and pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch without squeezing. Can spend 5 feet of your movement to escape from non-magical restraints or being grappled. So back to X-Men. You're the senator. You've been
Oh God.
experimented on by Magneto. The bars of your prison
Mhm.
cell are here. You can get out. You remember that
Yeah, I
scene?
do remember that. I do
Him
remember
walking
that.
up on the
That
beach like a
scene.
fucking
Yeah.
jellyfish, man.
Uh,
Crazy. But anyway, that's level 14. So now you can just do crazy shit like that, which is dope.
cool.
It really ramps up.
Hmm.
Like you start with being like, hey, you can talk to one person in their brain at level 3. That's fun. That's cute.
And then
Hey,
it's
level
level
6, you can cast some spells without letting anyone know you're casting spells. Pretty cool. And then level 14, they're like, and then mucus everywhere, wings sprouting from your back, eyeball fucking tentacles. It's like so crazy.
you become an unholy abomination.
It truly is like, okay, and now Cthulhu has claimed your soul.
Mhm.
And we're not even done yet because at
I
level
know.
18, warping implosion.
That's
At
wild.
18th level, you can unleash your aberrant power as a space warping anomaly. Fucking insane. So, as an
Mhm.
action, you're teleporting to an unoccupied space that you can see within 120 feet of you. After you disappear, the people within 30 feet radius of where you just left, they have to make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC.
Mm.
If they fail, they take 3d10 force damage and are immediately pulled to the center like a gravity thing.
Uh-huh.
If they succeed, they take half damage. They're not pulled. Now, you can only do this once, kind of for free, once per long rest.
Hmm.
And then you can spend 5 sorcery points to do it again.
You're level 18. It's fine.
You're level 18 and you're practically at that level 20 part where you're going to start
Mhm.
not even needing to spend sorcery points on some of your metamagic things.
Right.
So, pretty frickin' sick.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that is the aberrant mind. Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think I would have fun with becoming the ungodly abomination
It really would be
creature
sick.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
truly, if somebody were like, hey, we're doing a one shot at level 14 or above,
Hmm.
I got to put this one on the list.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, what about this one? Where I can just be like, don't worry, guys, I got this one. I just look like
That's the thumbnail right there,
the
Justin.
one character guy from My Hero Academia, the guy with the wings and the eyeballs and the ears
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff. I can't think of what the guy's name is. He
Um,
was fun. He seemed
mhm.
like a nice guy with a weird ass power. Um, But okay, let's move on. Clockwork sorcery, Taylor. Get into it.
All right.
Lay it on us.
Sure. Same kind of deal. As far as spells that you get, all your first level spells you'll get at third level spell. Like what were originally first level spells are now third level subclass spells. So at third level, you're going to get alarm, protection from evil and good, aid, and lesser restoration. At fifth level, you get dispel magic and protection from energy. Seventh level, freedom of movement and summon construct. And then at ninth level, you get greater restoration and wall of force. Every one of these spells is a heavy hitter in its own right.
It really is. A lot of them are like, if some of them are different, like alarm, but a lot of them are about like bringing things back to the center
Order.
line.
Right.
It's the like homeostasis. It's like, oh, things got a little crazy. Let's bring it back. Lesser restorations, bring that back. Oh, what's this? Dispel magic, bring that back to normal. You know what I mean? It's very like, a lot of fire, protection from energy, just bring that back to normal.
It's very like
I love it.
The clockwork aspect of it is very like rigid order and stability kind of thing. You're connected to the plane of order mechanist basically. And it even gives you a little table in here to kind of show how it would manifest while you're casting your spells. Like either
and 2024 does that as well with some of them. Not every single one of them had a little table of like some inspo for flavor stuff, but the Tasha's ones did. It was funny that they brought those over and just didn't make new ones. You know what I mean? Like all of the ones we're going to go over today have their own little list of spells like this one does. And so did the last one that we just did. Wild Magic doesn't get that. They gave it to Draconic. Draconic's going to get a little list of spells. Wild Magic doesn't get a little list of spells. It's like, what the fuck, guys? You could have just write down 10 spells. It takes 2 seconds to come up with spells.
Right.
Like we've made sorcerer subclasses and druid subclasses. It doesn't take long to go through the list of spells and go, hey, that one makes sense.
Yeah.
That one does.
It really
takes
does.
2 seconds.
Right.
It just seems silly. All right. Continue.
So yeah, some of the manifestations that you can choose, like the extra little flavor they give you is like you can get spectral cogwheels will hover behind you, or you get the hands of the clocks will go in your eyes and stuff like that.
That's sick.
Floating equations a la Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover. Those all start coming up.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of really fun things in there. There's more, but we simply don't have time. Moving on to third level, you get the restore balance feat. Your connection of absolute order allows you to equalize chaotic moments. If a creature within 60 feet of you is about to roll a d20 with advantage or disadvantage, you can use reaction to prevent the roll from being affected by advantage or disadvantage. So you can turn it into a straight roll. And then you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And you get all your expended uses when you get back when you do a long rest. So that's pretty dope.
It's sick. It's so cool to just cancel out stuff like that, to have that ability. It's always fun when you give a player an ability to essentially be like saying fuck you to the DM is how I think of it. Is just being like the DM being like, so technically you're going to have to roll that at disadvantage. And then having that one player be like, actually, you don't have to do that. What really is going to happen is a lot of that player going, are they within 60 feet of me?
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of that.
A
lot of like paladin aura vibes. Are they within 10 feet of me? Add a +5 to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love being the paladin.
Yeah. So that's third level. The levels are the same, right? So like next level 6.
Yep. Everything else is the same.
Got it. You tap into the grand equation of the universe, and you can imbue a creature with a shield. As an action, spend 1 to 5 sorcery points to create a magical ward around yourself or another creature, and the ward lasts until you finish a long rest. So it just kind of is there. It basically is a pool of d8s that when the creature that's warded takes damage, they can roll a number of the d8s, and reduce the damage by that dice. The number of d8s is equal to the number of sorcery points that you give somebody. So up to 5, you can give them up to a pool of 5d8 to use against any damage that they might take.
Yeah,
And
it just saps up the damage instead
Right.
of you taking it. Yeah.
Right. And you can use this as many times as you would like during a long rest, provided you have the sorcery points, but you can only have one warded creature at a time. If you use that effect again, even if they have dice left on their ward, those dice go away. New person gets a new dice pool.
Yeah, and it's like you're spending sorcery points for those dice. So if you do that and like end one early to put up another one,
Yeah.
while of course that could be the right move, you are like, oh, I burned the sorcery points for
Throwing
nothing.
away. Yeah.
So it is like really risky. I like that a lot.
I do too. I really do.
Because there's gonna be times where you're like, this guy's you're 400 feet away from danger. Like I have to drop it.
Right.
Be like, fuck. You have to eat that. Fuck. Put it over here. I love
now.
that.
Granted, you're at 14th level, so it's not
Yeah,
the end of the
points.
world. Oh wait, no.
Well,
that's
this is at 6th level.
6th level. I scrolled down too soon. Yeah, it's 6th level. So yeah, I mean, but as you get up to the higher stuff, it's really going to be, it's worth it. I think that's a really strong ability to just be able to toss around.
Yeah.
At 14th level, you get the Trance of Order. You are able to align your consciousness to the endless calculations of Mechanus. And for a bonus action, you enter the state for a minute. And while this state is active, attack rolls against you can't benefit from advantage. And whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can treat a roll of 9 or 20, 9 or lower as a 10. So reliable talent on everything while you're in this Trance of Order. You can do it obviously only once per long rest, unless you spend 5 sorcery points, and you can do it again.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's
so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
Because like I said, the reliable talent on everything, not just whatever. It's attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
And attack rolls against you cannot have advantage.
Right.
So flanking doesn't matter. Not I mean, flanking is a house rule, but you know what I mean.
Right.
All that stuff normally just wouldn't matter. So like I'm thinking of barbarians and reckless attack. You go 14 levels, this type of sorcerer, then the rest of it you go barbarian. We all love a magical barbarian. Anyway, no, because I had barbarians on the mind because I started thinking the Bastion of Law thing, just to bring us back for 2 seconds.
Sure.
You have this number of d8s that you can remove from damage. If I'm the barbarian and you put the ward on me, I receive 20 points of damage. It's bludgeoning. I'm already raging. I remove 10. Now it's 10. Then I have it with my barbarian stuff. Now it's 5. Correct? Like we're minusing damage from this Bastion of Law ability before having it from the barbarian. That's how I would do it.
I would say you have it first.
Like interesting, because I think it's 20, the barrier's taking the damage first, and then the barbarian is taking the damage. So like it would already minus from the total. You know what I mean? That's how I'm reading. That's how I would play it. If I was the DM,
all right. So when the warded creature takes damage, so that's when it hits. That's when it kicks in. So it has to hit first for the effect to kick in. So I think that it would be if the barbarian is raging, it gets halved because they take the damage, the half damage, and then you subtract from the half damage. Which would mathematically work out better that way.
For the barbarian.
For the barbarian, yeah.
No doubt. I don't want it to be better for the barbarian. I personally don't love that. I hear what you're saying, and I think that there's a world where that's right.
Because
I personally dislike that, there's a part of my brain that won't let me read it that way. But I think you're right.
Because it's like what's the elemental resistance spell or whatever?
Absorb elements.
Absorb elements. That also gets triggered when you take damage.
No doubt. Yeah, it's
And then
definitely
it gets
happening. Like you're taking the
and then it gets
damage.
halved.
See, I don't know if I would do it that way. I think I would still have the ward take off from the main source of damage first
I feel
and
like
then
that would
have
be
it have.
I feel like that would be cheating
Because
out of
to me, it's like,
damage.
yes, it's like the barbarian's taking the damage first, which is then triggering the thing, but the barbarian's not actually taking damage. We're like now taking time and zooming in super far and being like the microseconds of like who gets hit first and kind of stuff. And so then I think like,
Does the thing that's attacking barbarian have first strike? That's another Magic the Gathering thing. Don't worry about it.
well, it's just like
No.
an interesting discussion, but I don't want to spend too much time on this
Sure.
because we
Yeah,
still
yeah,
have
yeah.
some more
Have more
things
subclasses
just to
go
do
on.
in this subclass, and then we have
Yeah.
two more. So let's continue.
All right. So we just did the Trance of Order. Very, very, very cool. And
Very cool.
finally, the I guess capstone for this subclass is the Clockwork Cavalcade. At 18th level, you can summon Spirits of Order to expunge the disorder around you. It's an action, and the spirits are summoned in a 30-foot cube originating from you. They're spirits of Modrons or other some kind of constructs. You can kind of choose what you want it to look like. They're intangible and vulnerable, but they do create an effect in the cube before they go away. All the spirits can restore up to 100 hit points, divided how you choose amongst any number of creatures in the cube. Any damaged objects entirely in the cube are repaired instantly, and every spell of 6th level or lower ends on a creature or an object in the cube of your choice. So you can just, no, this is too chaotic. I'm putting a stop to this. Order in the court, so to speak, and just shut everything down.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a once per long rest jam, or 7 sorcery points, and you can do it again.
Nuts. That one's really good. Dispelling that many potential 6th-level spells. Obviously, the circumstances would have to be right, but if they are, you could dispel so many things. Not to mention the huge amount of healing.
That's a lot of health.
Huge amount of potentially fixing things, depending on how strategic you are of the moment. Because, like, you can fix a wall,
right?
An important barrier that's in the middle of the battlefield. Or something like that, right? Like a tower could be destroyed, and it's like obviously you have 30 feet. It's not you can't build the entire tower, but 30 feet of the tower, maybe you could build. That's still something. I don't know. There's just like some really cool options with this. I think it's dope.
Yeah, I like it. I really am I am a big fan of the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer, just because I've again have had this obsession with Mechanist. I'd love to do a like Mechanist themed campaign, or at least go to Mechanist in a campaign, because it's such a cool like place.
Yeah, it's very fun.
But yeah, that's Clockwork Soul.
Clockwork Soul. Hell yes. So next up, now we're getting into some classic OG subclasses for the Sorcerer. First up is the Draconic Sorcerer. So at level 3, we get our Draconic Resilience. Your HP max gets a +3 bonus to it. And then every additional level in Sorcerer will be a +1 on top of that. You take the toughness feat, and now you're just adding in hit points left and right. You also, your AC, you get a nice little, when you're not in armor, a nice little boost, because your AC is going to be your 10 plus your dex plus your charisma modifiers. So depending on where your dex is.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, if your dex is a +3, your charisma is a 5, that's an 18 resting with no armor. It's pretty good. Then you just have to
shield,
get like a very decent number of magic items that help that. And then, I mean, I had the lowest AC in the entire group in the game where I played the high level bard. My AC was a 12 at some points. And still, often I was one of the ones with the most hit points at the end, because I had a cloak of displacement, ring of evasion, mirror image. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right,
there's
right.
just other defensive ways that you can back yourself up where and
Mhm.
then it's just like strategically being around the battlefield, like Misty stepping away and having some range. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
have to play differently. You're used to just being up in the front.
Mhm.
Being like, I
That's
just want
that's
to
fair.
hit the thing close. But so you get these little boosts of your draconic resilience, then you get your draconic spells. Like I said, this one gets its own little spell list. Wild magic, not the case. But at level 3, alter self, chromatic orb, command, dragon's breath. Level 5, fear and fly. Level 7, arcane eye, charm monster. And level 9, legend lore, summon dragon,
Nice.
which is a very good spell.
Yeah.
I've been the
If you
victim of
couldn't
that
tell,
spell. It's
gang, if you
rough.
couldn't tell, Summon Dragon, pretty fucking powerful.
It's pretty freaking powerful. Pretty freaking powerful. So yeah, look out for those because also that spell gets even fucking crazier at our capstone. But at level 6, we get elemental affinity. Choose either acid, fire, cold, lightning, or poison, depending on what you think. It obviously you can do whatever with this, but it should be like connected to your backstory. It's supposed to be connected to your lineage kind of thing, or
Right.
why you have this draconic sorcery abilities anyway. You gain resistance to that damage type. And when you cast a spell that does that type of damage, you can also add your charisma modifier to one of the damage rolls of that spell.
Okay.
So pretty freaking sick.
Yeah.
Now, the way they put it in the book is you can add your charisma modifier to, and this is word for one damage roll of that spell.
Okay.
How I read that is if I cast Scorching Ray,
Yes.
I hit 3 different targets,
Yes.
2d6, 2d6, 2d6 to each one, right?
Correct.
I can still only add my charisma modifier to one of them.
That's how I read that too.
Brilliant. We're on the same page. Because even though it's 3 different like damage rolls,
Right.
they're each 2d6s, so they're all kind of contained. It's
Mhm.
still one casting of the spell.
Right.
And that is why you can
Yeah.
only add your charisma modifier to one. That's what it, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Agreed. Lovely.
It's more beneficial to add it to Fireball than it would be to add it to Scorching Ray.
Yeah, unless you were like, fuck this one guy in particular. I'm just gonna do a little extra damage on this guy. But these guys, whatever. Yeah, I mean, this you get fun with it. But so okay, level 14, Dragon Wings.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
Level
yeah.
14, Dragon Wings.
Mhm.
Bonus action. 1 hour until you dismiss them. Fly speed of 60 feet. You can do it once per long rest or 3 sorcery points.
Mhm. That's right.
So that's sick as hell. I love that.
Mhm.
They're a little vague with it. I could see DMs going either way with this. I think this is kind of like maybe there's a right way to read it, but I think it truly is more just like up for personal interpretation. The bonus action 1 hour or until dismiss thing makes me feel like what they intend is like you activate it, it lasts for an hour. Even if you only use 20 minutes of it and then dismiss it, you still have to spend the 3 sorcery points to do it again before you long rest.
Yeah.
That it's not like an hour that you can eat the time from and cast it and do it multiple times the way that some magic items work.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you there too.
It's an
as
hour
well.
or nothing, kind of. Yeah.
Right. Right. I mean that because
So
that's how like the Wings of Flying item works too. In that you activate it. Once it's activated, it's an hour. You can turn it off before then, but you only get once per dawn or whatever, however the
yeah. And then there are other magic items that are a little more specific where it's like you activate it, you have 12 hours per day, and you have to use a minimum of an hour each time, but you can
Right. I got you.
break it up. So there's different magic items depending on how it works. But for this, it's just 1 hour until dismissed. Now, the nice thing is, I believe in 2014, it used to be like equal to your walking speed.
Yeah.
I think.
This gives you
so that's nice. You do get more speed.
Yeah.
Which is just, of course, good. Now, level 18. Dragon Companion. First of all, you can cast Summon Dragon without material components.
Fuck yeah.
You can also cast it once without even using a spell slot and regain the ability to cast it after a long rest.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is this. you can choose, if you would like to, while you're casting the spell, to modify the way the spell works.
Okay. Yeah.
Normally, it requires concentration. It also lasts a decent amount of time. It's like, I forget, let's say either 10 minutes, an hour, 4 hours. It's something along those lines.
Right.
But if you want, you can cast it in a way where you don't need to concentrate on it at all. But in that case, it only lasts for 1 minute. But during
Okay.
combat, that's kind of fine.
A
It's
minute
just
of having a
very
dragon
cool.
on the field is still rad.
It's sick as fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's circumstances where it's like we need him here longer
Mhm,
because
mhm,
like we're
mhm.
using him as a mount to fly somewhere or
Right.
something. Like, of course, there's reasons where 1 minute would actually be a huge deficit.
Mhm.
But in the middle of a combat scene, it's fucking who cares?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just so cool.
Yeah.
You don't even need to concentrate on it, which means it's just working on its hit points, which it's
Mhm.
got a big old sack of those. So yeah, solid as fuck. I think the Draconic
Hell yeah.
Sorcerer is very similar and just better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they genuinely just took the Draconic Sorcerer from 2014 and they just made it a little better.
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, I will
It's pretty
say
good.
that the one thing about this subclass,
Mhm.
if I was being a little nitpicky, I do think that there's like, I mean, level 14 and level 18 are fucking cool. But
Yeah.
before then, there isn't anything that's like really exciting me. They're
Like
fine for flavor. If in my
yeah.
head I have like a flavor idea for like having this like black
Mhm.
dragon or green dragon or white dragon or whoever like
Yeah.
ancestor and having that, like if it's not for story reasons, mechanically level 3 and level 6 don't excite me like as much as some of the other subclasses.
I'll agree with you, other than I do like the AC bonus. Obviously, I would like that. I like having that
Of course.
the HP bonus and AC bonus that you get at level 3 is pretty freaking dope. Not to mention the spell list that you get for this, even though most of it is already on the sorcerer spell list, is rad.
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
because you already get more spells in 2024. And now also a bunch of the spells that
Prepared
I
spells.
normally would, yeah, I normally would prepare. I no longer have to prepare, and I can prepare other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
Definitely.
I think it's pretty
Well,
rad. Last one though. We got one
bring
left.
us on home with a
Sure.
classic, truly like a crowd favorite too. People
The
love this
classic
subclass.
crowd favorite one, the wild magic sorcerer. Everybody loves it. And so I like that they changed this one little bit of wild magic to make it not seem like a bad thing, but now it's a good thing. The wild
Hmm.
magic surge is now on a 20 instead of a 1.
I like
So
that as well. It's
yeah.
just kind of because we're
Mhm.
all excited for it. Like obviously,
Yeah.
like there's depending on the table, sometimes there's like dread around the wild magic because it
Mhm.
can go bad. But
Yeah.
I always think it's so fun. I mean, most of the time we homebrew the same way that Brennan Lee Mulligan did it in Unsleeping City with Allie's character, Pete the Plug. We most times that we have a wild magic sorcerer at any of our tables, we'll do that little house rule thing of like, oh, you didn't wild magic surge on this one, but
Mhm.
next time you roll, instead of just being a 1, it's a 1 or a 2, and then a
Right.
1, 2, or a 3, and so on and so
Mhm.
forth
Mhm.
until it happens, and then it goes back to a 1.
Yeah.
So we usually love when wild magic surges happen, but I do like
So
this change.
here's a way to force some wild magic surges that is super rad. So you can also get at level 3 the Tides of Chaos. You basically just give yourself advantage on a D20 check. It just says D20 test. Anytime you roll in a D20 is eligible for this. Once you do that, you must cast a sorcerer spell with a spell slot or take a long rest before you can do it again. So you just have to cast a spell. The caveat is
Mhm.
when you do cast that sorcerer spell, it automatically surges.
Yep.
So, yeah, I also think that that's just a blanket good, in my opinion.
It does seem
Obviously,
really fun.
some of the wild magic stuff is a little chaotic. It's fine. Um, but
Yeah.
I think being able to not only give yourself advantage on something, but also to force wild magic surges is pretty dope.
Yeah. In 2014, it was written weird because it put the DM in the equation of being like, the DM could help you recharge this ability, but they get to decide if you wild magic surge or not, or if you have to roll again for a wild magic. It was a little
Right.
confusing and convoluted. Like I
Mhm.
remember Allie and I having a discussion about it where it was like, well, if we wanted my character to just roll on the wild magic surge again and again and again, then I can just get advantage on every check.
Right.
And that's kind of how it was starting to turn out in one of the one shots where it was
Mhm.
like, oh, I have an advantage on everything.
Right.
And then I'm wild magic surging every 2 seconds, but like sometimes that's fun, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's like spotlight hoggy. It takes away from the
Yeah. Yeah.
plot.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
it all
Yeah.
about yourself. So sometimes it could be really. So I do like that they simplified it a little bit. I still think that this is one of those abilities that's it's so cool. It's awesome. I think that as long as I would just urge people not to use this ad nauseum. Like, don't use
Right.
this very
It
specific
does
ability to
get.
try and break the game
Mhm.
because you will just end up making it all about you.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, look at how many wild magic surges I'm doing, and I'm affecting all my friends. And oh, you're a plant now, ha ha ha! And oh, everyone got fireballed. Isn't
Right.
it hilarious? It's like
Right.
at a certain point, it becomes too much.
Mhm.
But in moderation, this ability is so fucking cool.
Yeah. Um. But moving on to level 6, Ben Luck, another classic wild magic ability. Immediately after a creature you can see rolls a d20, you can use a reaction and spend 1 sorcery point to roll a d4 and either add or subtract it. And that's it. Like literally,
Heck yes.
it costs a reaction and a sorcery point to do this. I
Dope
mean,
as hell.
hell yeah.
Used to cost 2,
hmm
which is
So
why it's like already
cheaper.
bit.
Yeah. 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 So far so good as far as in my opinion on upgrading the wild magic sorcerer.
Yeah,
Um,
most things are pretty
mhm. Well,
similar. I mean, obviously we haven't gotten into it yet, but the table has changed.
okay.
That's going to be the biggest thing.
All right, we'll talk about the table after we get through the
Yeah.
whole thing. Because at level 14, another classic wild magic controlled chaos. You're basically rolling on the wild magic table with advantage. You roll twice and you pick which effect you want to use.
hmm
And then level 18, you get the Tamed Surge. After you cast a sorcery spell with a spell slot, you can create an effect from the wild magic table of your choice, except for the last row.
Yeah. Which is just like 97 to 100.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously that's sick as hell. That's
hmm
insane that you can
hmm
just cast a sorcery spell and then choose anything from the wild magic table to just happen is
Yeah.
freaking insane.
I'd be causing
The
that unicorn to pop up all the goddamn time.
you absolutely could because the options now here's the downside
hmm
there's just less options and I kind of am like there's a part of me that's starting to get annoyed by these D100 tables that D&D keeps putting out, D&D
hmm
the company, because it's like just make a D66 table if you're going to do so few options.
Right.
Stop doing D100 tables if you're not going to make 100 or close to, not even
hmm
50. It's like 1 through 4 is this one, 5 through 8 this one, 9 through 12, 13 through 16, 17 through 20. You're getting like 30 options,
Right.
maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6.
if it's 4 each, it'd be 25 options.
25. Yeah.
I can
I know
math.
it started throwing me off when I 1 through 4, obviously 4, but
hmm
5 through 8 in my brain, I just went 5 plus 3 is 8. So there's 3. I just kept
hmm
going and I was like, yeah, so
You
there's
got to
about
count the
30.
number. You
But
got to count the
seriously,
first one. Yeah.
25 compared to 50.
Yeah.
There used to be at
Yeah.
least 50
Yeah.
options in the old Wild Magic Surge table, and now there's 25. So as
Mhm.
you can see, that's just a bummer because it's lazy. It just feels like the game designers got lazy, genuinely. And
Yeah.
I say that full ass with my whole chest. I genuinely believe they got
I
lazy and they
I
just
agree.
like wanted less pages on this or to
hmm
I mean, there's a massive piece of artwork that's dope as hell. It's beautiful, but at the same time, like, would have loved another 30 options for the Wild Magic Search table because
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through these pretty quickly. Um,
Mhm.
so that's a bummer.
Oh shit.
However,
One of them is you can just take an extra action on this turn. That's fucking crazy. Because at level 18, you could just choose that every single time. You
yeah,
cast a
there are
spell and
some
get an action.
absolutely bonkers ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's the other interesting thing is because of the way that they're printed on the page. The way that they're printed on the page and the way that it says you can choose any effect in the table except for the final row.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the final row to me, because of the way they're printed in this book, I'm about to show you, Taylor,
Yeah.
starts here, goes down, and then obviously they do their 2-column shit.
Mm-hmm.
97 to 100 is right here. I assume that we mean this is the
Just
final
that.
row.
That's the final row. Yeah.
That's what I assume that they mean.
Yeah.
As opposed to everything from 89 to above. But like, it's a little, I don't know. I'm just bummed that there's so much less options. It's not that the options are bad or anything like that. 1 through 4, you get roll on this table at the start of each of your turns for the next minute. And you just are doing a million things. 5 through 8, you're summoning creatures, regain 5 hit points at the start of every turn. Creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell you cast.
Magical shield giving you +2 AC and immunity to magic missile for the next minute.
Cast a random spell. Any flammable object you touch that isn't being worn bursts into flames. If you die until the next hour, you immediately revive. It also does seem like almost everything is good. No,
Yeah.
here's some. You turn into a potted plant. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, that one does suck because it gives you the incapacitated condition, which sucks.
Most of them are fucking awesome.
Most of them are rad. Yeah.
You were
I mean,
teleported to
literally-
the astral plane until the end of your next turn. So you waste a turn.
Wasn't
but
one of the ones in the original table like you just fucking die?
I don't think so. I don't think it was
No?
that direct. I don't think so. I think there were things that could happen
thinking
that
of,
could kill low level
I'm-
characters where
I'm
there was like
thinking of,
fireball on yourself.
Whatchamacallit, the deck of many things. One of those
Oh,
definitely
yes.
is just like, well, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Your soul is transported
There's like
to another
weird ways.
plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to get real creative about how you bring
Yeah.
the person back to life. But well, what a conversation about sorcerers, gang.
Mhm.
All different kinds of sorcerers, all different kinds of ways to have their magic innately brought to you and stuff like that. And I'm so grateful that today, for the first time ever, Bryan Singer, the director of the original 2000 X-Men and several sequels, is sponsoring this episode. So this episode is
awesome.
sponsored by Bryan Singer of the X-Men fame of the 2000 early saga of those movies. Hey, thank you, Bryan Singer.
Yeah, that's
And I
all we
haven't
can get
done any
into
extra
this
work. I
time.
hope he's
You
an
can
okay
find us on
person.
TikTok and Instagram at So You Want to Be a DM, or you can ask us a question at SoYouWantToBeADM at gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and a review wherever you found us, and check out the Patreon, the Twitch, and our merch with the link in the description. Join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Oh no, he's got some lawsuits against him. Never mind. Fuck you, Bryan Singer. Bye.
See ya.
Hey gang, it's Justin. I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Nub Muffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? Yazvi, the eternal library where color and community await you. Molly Adeza, who gets yet another level up. And there's Elijah, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Wanna Be a DM.